Here we have the air chamber. The wedge fits into the air chamber. We've taken the spring off to show you how it works. Air operates a piston in here which pushes on a push rod which pushes on the wedge. As the wedge moves out, it contacts the tapers on the plungers. The wedge causes the plungers to move outwards, which then move the shoes. The wedges are serviceable usually as long as they're not corroded and dried out, rusty. You can reuse them. Just clean them up and lubricate them. On the wedges there is a part number here. That's important that you double check that you have the right wedge in there, because the wedges come in different angles. So they may look like the right wedge, but because it has a different wedging angle, it will change the speed of which the brakes are applied and could affect the brake balance between one side and the other, especially if you're just changing one wedge assembly. Once we've cleaned and lubricated the adjusters, we want to make sure that that anti-corrosion material has not come off there and rust is forming. It'll just cause it to seize prematurely. So you can see the adjuster portion just threads right on. We've put a new seal in place, so we're going to wind this in on both the adjusters. And again, because this is actuating air chamber, what we're going to do is we're going to put both the adjusters in the air plunger so that they adjust up. If it had two air chambers, we would put an adjuster in one side of the plunger and a solid one in the other side, looking at wheel rotation, and we would figure out which one had the most force on it from the self-wedging or self-energizing action. In this case, it's a single actuator, so we'll put both adjusters on one side. You see the small cutouts on the pawl that have to go into the pawl guide, which is this portion here. So it's going to lock into our adjuster like so. So we'll slip it in. The pawl not only acts as a method of adjusting, but it also acts as a way of keeping this the wedge in the proper alignment. And then we'll just tighten these down so they're in place. We're going to seat the seals very carefully. We don't want to damage those. Good idea always to put in new seals when you're overhauling your wedge brakes. Okay, now we're ready to go to the other side and install it. So what we're going to do is just put the solid anchor plungers in with the guides facing the guide pins. That keeps them from twisting and also keeps the part which holds the shoe from twisting as well. So we've put new seals on. Here, slide it in. This side in. So what we're going to do now is put the wedge assembly. We've got the spring and the cotter pin in place and the housing. Notice that the housing has these detents on it. We want those to go right inside the detents that are there, so that it stays in the proper position.